I'm so excited to be back for the 7th edition of CX Circle. Thanks everyone for being here in person. And welcome to those who are joining us online. It's so great to see so many customers and partners in this room. Contentsquare will not be anything without you. Thank you so much. All right, 2025 rewrote the rules of customer experience. AI assistants became part of our everyday life. Then, agents arrived, and in a second, everything changed. You all read headlines these past years. Agents hiring humans or creating a religion. There is even a social network for agents where humans are only allowed as observers. This is not science fiction. This is the world we are all operating right now. And in this new world, the customer experience is becoming increasingly agentic. So what does it mean for all of us? It means more agents will be shopping, comparing, and acting on behalf of customers. Morgan Stanley predicts 20% agentic shopper by 2030. More interaction, more decision are happening outside the traditional journey. And it means that today, brands have to manage and optimize for bots and for people. This is not something that is happening 5 years from now. It's already starting. And for the first time, we can actually measure the shift to AI-driven experiences. In the Contentsquare 26 digital experience benchmark, we saw AI-driven traffic grow 623% year over year. Very engaged, high intent, and it converts more than social channels. So this is not just a channel of traffic acquisition. It's a new kind of experience. It's one that works and one that is very good for business. Brands are now dealing with an entirely new layer of experiences. Website, apps, LLM, chat, review, support, store, social, agents. And not only we see more channels, but these new interactions, especially conversational ones, carry a different kind of data. That's not just more complexity, it's a new layer of understanding. And the way we have always understood customer just doesn't work anymore. We need to analyze and understand AI and agent interaction just like we do for websites and apps. Because AI and agent run on intelligence, pattern, context. Without data, an agent is not intelligent. Without data, it's just another agent with an opinion. And the good news is, we do have the data. What we have been building since 2012 is the most complex system of record for customer experience, layer by layer, step by step. We have always built our product by answering a basic question from our customer. Our customer wanted to know, why do users leave the website? So we gave them a way to watch what actually happened. Session replay. Then people said, okay, Johnny, but what about the page itself? How is the content performing? That's where zoning and CS Live came from with revenue attribution. And then customer wanted to know, what's the experience on mobile? And mobile app started to scale. So we launched our first SDK to analyze mobile app experience. And merchandising teams wanted to know, are we showing the right product to the right people? So we built tools to analyze that clearly. Then we kept hearing, people are leaving the website because the site is too slow. And we did speed analysis. Sometimes it was not the speed. Script didn't load. JavaScript error, API error, every type of error showed up. So we made it easy to spot it. Even when nothing was technically wrong, users were still frustrated. Clicking, trying again, rage-clicking, and giving up. That's why we added frustration score. Then customers ask, is it actually good or bad compared to everyone else? That's where benchmark came in. They also wanted to know when something changed or if there was an anomaly right away, not weeks later. So we added alerts. Next question was, but how do people feel about this experience? So we added voice of customer and feedback analytics. Brands needed to understand the end-to-end customer journey, cross-channel, cross-device, and measure customer retention. Well, we acquired IP and added product analytics. Then experience became more and more conversational. Blah, 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 blah. So in 2025, we acquired Yoris.ai and added conversation intelligence to the mix. And recently, one of our customers, General Motors, told us they needed to understand people in the cars. So we added infotainment, meaning we added in-car screen analytics. Each addition to our system of record came from a real challenge our customer had. And so we built or bought what they needed next. And today, we are adding GPT apps analytics, review, LLM analytics, bot analytics. As the experience became more and more conversational, we knew it would be important to understand the experience in both human and AI-powered conversation. Why customers are contacting, how the agent responded, and how satisfied customers are with experience. As commerce becomes more agenting, being able to link conversation with behavior and revenue will be critical. And we analyze all of this data at scale. This is what we captured in 2025. All the data we captured. 500 billion page views, $400 billion of GMV in enterprise customer, 17 billion add to cart analyzed, 841 million of mobile app event, 10 trillion of interaction, 10 petabytes of data. For an idea of scale, Google is processing 5 trillion searches in a year. TikTok gets 1 billion views a day. So the data we are analyzing are massive. And we capture this data across every business vertical: finance, luxury, retail, telco, travel, automotive, B2B, software, and many other industries. And you know what? When you bring all this data together, something important happens. Because the data is connected. You can see the full journey across web, app, conversation, and understand every factor that affects the experience. You can understand how interaction influence each other and uncover friction or opportunities you couldn't see before. We don't just provide data. We enrich it with review or other dimension. By connecting with additional data sources like customer reviews, social, feedback, we can give you a much deeper picture of customer experience. You know, the value of data is multiplied when it's connected to the system people actually use. That is what makes data actionable, not just visible. The more tool it touches, from your data warehouse to Slack, Figma, Cloud via MCP, the more impactful the insights are. So, what makes our system of record so unique, so special? It's the 360 understanding. It's the scale of the data across every size of business. It's the fact that it's unified in one platform. It's enriched by other sources, and that it can flow to wherever you need it to flow. You know, developing our system of record was essential to start this adventure. But to help brands really get value from all that data, we also turn into scoring and actionable insight. That's the system of intelligence. One of the ways to do this, for example, is with our frustration score. Is the equivalent of NPS in digital. By tracking a bunch of different type of friction across a site, we can score user frustration and monitor it, whether it's a technical issue, a looping back behavior, or other signal of friction. Benchmarks are also part of our system of intelligence. By comparing your performance to industry peers, you can understand how strong you are and where you need to improve every day. A couple of months ago, we launched our first AI agent, Sense Analyst, which has already been tested by 250 customers. It's a key part of Contentsquare intelligence layer, where you can turn raw data into recommendation. So when you start your day, you don't see hundreds of metrics, you see clear priorities. An A/B test that needs deeper analysis, a checkout funnel that is underperforming, a navigation issue causing friction, or a page performance problem affecting conversion. It's like having a team of analysts working for you 24/7 while you sleep or while you go to party time. And our customers are loving it. It's sensational. The feedback has been fantastic. In fact, it's one of our fastest adopted products ever. We have 1,000 active users for our analysts, and Sense has already processed 500,000 prompts. So if people want to access all that intelligence inside Contentsquare, they can. And Sense Analyst, you will discover more about it today, make it super easy. But over time, we know that more and more of you will want to access this data and insight wherever you work. Intelligence needs to be everywhere. That's the only way it can truly drive action and impact. Thanks to MCP, you can now ask a question directly in Cloud, ChatGPT, Copilot, and get an answer. It's even integrated with Jira, so you can find out if a ticket has been solved and what is the impact on conversion rate. Another good example of CSQ intelligence everywhere. Our client Accor, hospitality group, built an internal AI agent that taps into Contentsquare experience data to help designers create new mockups directly inside Figma without ever leaving their workflow. So people are using this data in multiple ways. Today, it's about 20% of our data used outside of Contentsquare. You could start with Sense Analyst, then later ask a question in Slack or Teams. The data doesn't live in one interface. It moves to where it's needed. There is also huge potential for agent-to-agent use. With MCP, a support agent can instantly access customer history, purchases, past interaction, context, so they can resolve issue faster. So today, some of our data is already working this way behind the scenes. In a few years, most of it will. I predict that in 2 to 3 years, 50% plus of CSQ data will be used this way, without anyone touching the interface at all. That's the future of customer experience. Data plus intelligence flowing wherever it's needed, driving action, not just insight. But my dear people in this room, nothing is more important than being in the shoes of customer. So for the next session, I would like to introduce a friend of mine named Julie. Julie is 34. She lives in Manchester, and she loves running and fitness. When Julie shops, she reads reviews before she buys, and she loves free delivery, like all of us. To understand how we can make Julie a really happy customer, but really, really happy, I'm going to invite Rachel, our CPO, Chief Product Officer, to the stage. Welcome, Rachel!
Hello. So, speaking of being in a customer's shoes, Julie needs a new pair of sneakers. During her lunch break, she uses her phone to go to her favorite sneakers store that we've all heard of, that is a real website called CS Sneakers. She's been buying her favorite brand of sneakers there for a great price about every 6 months for the last 3 years. But today, she can't add her sneakers to the cart. These horrible things always happen in these demos, right? So she fires off a note to customer success, but gets an unhelpful response. So she's running out of time, and that's when she sees her brand shows up as out of stock. So now, doubly frustrated, she vents on the App Store and then goes about her day. And maybe CS Sneakers, that real website that exists, has lost a loyal customer. Or have they? Because what's been happening in the meantime is Contentsquare sends an alert to our CS Sneakers team. There's been an increase in cart errors impacting conversion. So we can go to Contentsquare to view errors, where the new error summary page shows the most common errors prioritized by revenue impact. We can see the add to cart error at the top of the list, and we can click on this to watch an example replay. Now, this is great, but we don't need to watch a bunch of sessions anymore. Sense will summarize them for us. We get a plain language description of the error, complete with reproduction steps and other helpful information like which devices or browsers or locations it typically occurs on, and also the revenue impact. And then we can easily share all this info with our development team by creating a Jira ticket through the Contentsquare Jira integration. So, obviously it's better not to have errors at all, but it was caught quickly, sent to the right people to fix it, and revenue impact was minimized. So end of story, right? Well, not today, because now our team at CS Sneakers has a new superpower, Contentsquare Conversation Intelligence. Traditionally, there's a wall that exists between the e-commerce team and the support team. So product sees a technical error impacting conversion, but correlating this impact happens weeks or months later, if it happens at all. And Julie is caught in the middle, first when she couldn't buy her sneakers, and then with a frustrating support experience. Conversation intelligence evaluates chat and voice interactions to answer questions like, what are the most common contact drivers, or how satisfied were customers with their support interaction? Now, with a serious experience issue like this, we'd want to check if it impacted support volume. And if it did, what happened when users experiencing this error contacted support? So now, in conversation intelligence, we can easily see the contact drivers behind support conversations. Here, in fact, we immediately see that there's been a recent spike in add-to-cart issues that's automatically surfaced. Now, clicking into this driver, we notice a similar pattern in support volumes as we saw with our error. So this error is impacting support. We can then take a look at the resolution rate. And we can see that most of these calls are not getting resolved, calls or chats, and they're resulting in a low CQ or customer satisfaction. But sometimes this issue does get resolved, so we can ask the built-in AI for a summary of the successful resolutions from this add-to-cart issue. And there it is, a workaround to add your item to your favorites list and then check out from there. So now we can proactively communicate this issue to support, not only letting them know that it exists, it's been reported to development, and a fix is on the way, but also we can share the workaround that support can use. But before we consider this a job well done, remember that bad review that Julie posted for our real, not fictional website, CS Sneakers? So along with being able to analyze support conversations, we can also now analyze reviews. Frustrated customers don't always contact support, so with reviews, we can better understand the blast radius of this issue. So here we're looking at the public reviews dashboard, and we can see that a number of customers did indeed vent their frustration around add-to-cart issues, and quite a bit more than contacted support. So the dark purple bar is the ones that vented, and the light one is the actual support calls. So we'll let our social team know that they have some damage control to do, because they love that. So after being then alerted about an error, we've understood its impact, validated it, filed a ticket with engineering, checked to see if support was impacted, made them aware of both the issue and the workaround, and alerted the social media team to do damage control. But there's still the issue of Julie. We can't forget about Julie, right?
Never forget about Julie.
Never. And all the other Julies out there who weren't able to get their sneakers. So whether they contacted support, whether they vented their frustration elsewhere, or whether they didn't complain at all, they had a bad experience that we want to address. So back to where we started with our error, where we can easily get a list of all of the IDs of impacted users. These unique IDs are available via the identity function in Contentsquare, sent to Contentsquare from our own internal system that manages customer IDs. So we can look up Julie with her unique ID, and we see what a loyal customer she is, easily viewing all of her sessions across devices and using Sense to summarize her lifetime relationship with CS Sneakers. We want to make sure we keep loyal customers like this. So we download this list of impacted customers and then upload it to our customer contact tool of choice. Our company allows us to offer a 20% coupon for situations like this, so that's indeed what we do. So Julie is back to being a happy customer. So what we've seen is a new and improved error analysis page with top errors automatically prioritized by revenue impact, AI error summaries with easily understandable descriptions of the error, including reproduction steps, conversation intelligence, where you can understand contact drivers, see if product issues are impacting support, analyze support conversation quality, and see which resolutions are working. And the user's view, where you can see a user's sessions over time and across devices, get an AI summary of that user's lifetime journey with your brand, and where you can export targeted user lists to ensure you retain your valued customers. You've also seen public review analysis, so you understand issues that are impacting your brand. And also available is a new conversation intelligence executive dashboard, which surfaces the most important trends in conversation. All of that together, providing an actionable 360-degree view into the customer experience from clicks to conversations. You can learn more about conversation intelligence at the Circle stage at 2:15, right after lunch. So now, John, what is next for Julie after this very busy lunch and sneaker episode?
We love Julie. We love Julie a lot. And now it's evening. Julie had a very long day. And Julie is getting hungry. She wants to order some takeout food before she goes out for the evening. She's in a rush. But the good news is we have the man for the job. Welcome, Andrew, our VP Product Management at Contentsquare.
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I can take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop.
Thanks, John. So last year I was fuel man, now I'm the pizza delivery guy. Different fuel, I guess. So Rachel has shown us how we can bring on-site interactions together with social media reviews and support conversations to understand your customers better. But we're not stopping there. The ecosystem that your customers operating is expanding. They're searching for your products or services in LLM chatbots, and now you can build apps directly in those LLM chatbots too. So Hannah, can you switch the font, please? These are two new channels you need to consider. Channel 1, visitors interacting with your app directly inside of LLM chatbots, specifically ChatGPT apps and MCP apps. Channel 2, human traffic, referred to your site from LLM chatbots like Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT. We've got you covered for both. Let me show you how. Introducing Contentsquare for ChatGPT apps and MCP apps, available for you to try today. To show you how this works and why it's valuable, let's go back to our friend Julie. All of that venting on socials is hungry work. Julie needs a pizza. The pizza link's going to make sense in a second. So here what we see is Julie prompting for a pizza with lots of cheese. Now what's opening beneath that prompt is a ChatGPT app. That content is owned and controlled by the brand, not by ChatGPT. So you can see here that she can interact with it. She prompts again. Her health conscience has kicked in. She wants some veg on this pizza too. All of this carousel here, all of this content that's being presented, the pizza app brand owns this. ChatGPT does not own this content. Finally, you see here that she wants to add some pepperoni to this pizza. Again, she gets another carousel of pizzas here. She scrolls through. Finally, she finds one that she wants. And this is the typical journey that we're seeing, where you're taken from ChatGPT apps out to the main site, where, of course, she selects large and places the order. So that's what ChatGPT apps are. Now, let me show you what insights we can get and provide to you about them. So first of all, we can identify visitors who have seen the ChatGPT app and compare them to those that didn't. So we see here that we have some missed opportunities. Our conversion rate is a lot lower than our main site. We've got some other metrics that are down here as well. But encouragingly, the traffic that's going to these ChatGPT apps is growing pretty quickly, right? We can see a pretty big spike at the end of this graph. If we compare the journeys, so on the right here is journeys on the normal site. And it's a pretty simple journey. People basically hit the homepage, search for a pizza, and buy it. But on ChatGPT app, we see this repeated page views of people hitting different screens inside the ChatGPT app. So we can figure out why people are doing that by using session replay. So what we're going to see here is a session replay of Julie's session. So if we go to session replay, first of all, you can see that we can replay the content that was presented inside of that ChatGPT app, but we also see the prompt that opens that app. That's not a synthetic prompt, that's the real prompt that Julie typed. Now we notice her change it before, she added some veg. Again, we see that prompt. And finally here, you're going to see the final prompt where she adds in some pepperoni. So this opens up a whole new world of prompt analytics. Remember before as well, she went from the ChatGPT app out to the main site. We can track that journey end to end for that same user and see it here with the confirmation page on the main site. So no analysis of this app would be complete without also looking at zoning. So here we can compare people that actually purchased versus people that didn't. And we can see that the click rate on the search bar is way lower for those that don't convert, and the filter usage is virtually zero as well. So we could see that Julie was using prompts to find the next pizza, but actually she probably could have searched an app, or she probably could have used the filter. So we have an idea of how we can optimize this app by basically making the search or the filters potentially a bit more prominent. We think this is a really exciting development, and we're really happy to partner with customers like Accor, who are very early adopters of ChatGPT apps. I'm looking forward to providing them and others insights into this new channel to help them guide what level of investment to put into these apps. So that's how we've got you covered for Channel 1. We can help you optimize your ChatGPT app and your MCP app, and it's available for you to try today. Let me show you what we can do for Channel 2 and how we can see human traffic being referred from chatbots like Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT. Available today is our new AI referral source analysis. You can see the volume of traffic arriving from your site, having started a conversation in a chatbot like ChatGPT. But it's not only volume. You can look at week-on-week trends. You can look at metrics like value per session for customers arriving from LLMs. This is a key new acquisition channel to monitor. As John mentioned earlier, AI-driven traffic grew more than 600% year on year, and it's very engaged, high-intent traffic that converts higher than your social channels. So you definitely want to keep an eye on it, and now you can. So, to recap, Contentsquare now supports analysis in ChatGPT and MCP apps, and it's available for you to try today. We can see the end-to-end journey. We can replay sessions that start in ChatGPT apps. We can zone elements inside of the ChatGPT app. And we can collect the prompt, which opens up a whole new world of prompt analytics. Contentsquare now also supports the analysis of traffic referred from LLMs. You can see how this channel is growing, how valuable it is to your business, how it performs versus other channels. This is also available now. And teaser, we've kicked off a design partner program to analyze LLM bots on your site. And we'll have more details on this very soon. So far, I've spoken to you a lot about how your visitors are changing where they interact and how you can analyze and optimize for these channels. But it's not just your customers who are changing their behavior. You are too. I'd wager a bet that most of you in this room have some kind of efficiency directive. And LLM tools are probably where you're starting to gain these efficiencies. Let's have a look at how you can help you on this journey. Last year at this event, I announced that we were going to look at MCP. We went a little bit further than just looking at it. We built it, and it's available today in GA, and it's free for human usage. Let's go back to our story about Julie again. Her session helped us identify some issues with our ChatGPT app. Let me show you how MCP can help us dig further and make improvements. What I'm going to show you is a demo using Claude's chatbot, and I've connected Contentsquare's and Jira's MCP server to it. If you're not using MCP yet, don't be scared of it. It's super easy to use. Come to the Circle stage at 2:15, I think is going to be this side of the stage. We'll be doing a live demo of exactly how you can get this set up and start using it. Okay, so what you're looking at here is I'm in Claude, and I'm just going to ask it, okay, what was the conversion rate of my ChatGPT app for the 3rd to the 6th of March? And what it does here is it calls Contentsquare's MCP server in the background. And the first thing it does actually is figures out what do I mean by conversion. So it finds a goal here of order confirmation, and it gives me some stats about how I'm doing. Now, as the product manager for that ChatGPT app, I might know that we had an authentication issue. So I can just ask Jira, when was that fixed? And it comes back and it tells me that was fixed on the 5th of March. So the next thing I want to know is, well, how did the behavior change? Did we get more people clicking through from ChatGPT apps to the main site after that fix? So I ask that question. It queries Contentsquare's MCP server, and you can see it's a bit of a mixed bag. We do have a lot more traffic coming through, but we've also got a pretty horrible bounce rate. Now, we saw before from the zoning analysis that we did that we've got a pretty good idea about how we might improve this app by making the search and the filters a bit more prominent. So again, in Claude, I can just ask it to raise a Jira ticket for the team to go and work on exactly that. That's a perfect example of why MCP is useful. You can be somewhere like Claude and pull in your data from Contentsquare and Jira to help you work more efficiently. And this isn't just theoretical. Here's Criteo, who have been trialing our MCP server, saying exactly that. In their specific use case, they have an agent combining Contentsquare data with customer feedback data to help them do smarter prioritization. Very cool. So again, 2:15 at the Circle stage for a live demo on how to get started with MCP. Finally, let's move to Data Connect. We announced this product at this event last year, and it's now GA with a 90-day free trial for you to get started. It's our de facto way of exporting data out to the warehouses that you use, and we've been evolving it over the year. And I'm pleased to announce 2 new things today. First up, support for Microsoft Fabric. Data Connect will support Fabric as a destination within this quarter, so if you're using Fabric, we'll have you covered very soon. Second, we're expanding what we can export through Connect. I'm sure some of you in the room have our merchandising product. For our retailers, this allows you to go a level deeper than page and zone analysis to figure out how products and categories perform. We can now export this product data through Connect to any warehouse, and we've gone further with Snowflake. If you're a Snowflake customer, we have pre-built analysis, which is what you're seeing on the screen here, that you can run at the click of a button. Finally, you can see how all of these improvements we're making are tied together. I showed you earlier that we can get the prompt that opened the ChatGPT app. Connect is the perfect way to analyze this. You can export every prompt we've seen to your warehouse and analyze them there to answer some of the questions we really care about, like, do people really want pineapple on pizza? And the answer is clearly yes. The top 3 prompts all have some reference to pineapple, so we can statistically close this debate.
More pineapple.
Pineapple on pizza, John?
More pineapple.
Good. Good. I'll let you read the quote here, but the main thing to take away from this slide is that Data Connect has allowed Schneider to combine Contentsquare's frustration score with their Net Promoter Score. This enhances how they understand, measure, and report on their digital customer experience to their leadership team. So to close out my section, I'll just recap what you've just seen. MCP is now generally available, and it's free for human usage, so you can analyze your Contentsquare data in an LLM of your choice and easily blend it with other data sources. Connect has continued to evolve since we launched it last year, and will support Fabric as a destination within this quarter. Exporting merchandising data through Connect is now possible, and prompt analytics is now a thing. The combination of ChatGPT app collection and Connect allows you to analyze prompts at scale. So back to you, John, to see what happens next with Julie.
Thank you, Andrew. Julie is not alone. There are millions of Julies and therefore millions of data points. To understand how you make the experience better, not just for my lovely Julie, but for millions of customers. Welcome, Jane, SVP Product Design on stage.
Away with me, I know a galaxy and I could take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life.
Oh, thank you, John. Yes, you're absolutely right. so much data, so much complexity, so little time. And while we can't give you extra hours in your day to deal with it all, we can do something even better. We can give you an extra teammate, a new trusted colleague that does all the heavy lifting of analysis for you, that crunches data for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So meet your new best friend, our new agentic AI, Sense Analyst, an agent that works 24/7 and loves doing complex analysis for you. And here it is. You can just ask it anything, as complex or as simple as you like. And we know that prompting is new to many of you. So to get you started, we've given you some really good templated prompts. Or if you like, you can create, share, and save your own prompts too. So here, I want Sense Analyst to investigate my checkout flow and help me understand what my customers are experiencing. And as you can see, it immediately gets to work. It creates a complete analysis plan, and it uses multiple Contentsquare capabilities at once. For example, journeys, funnels, and zonings. And this is incredible. It's creating zonings of your page on the fly and naming them. And it's so fast. This is all happening in real time. And to give the best recommendations, users can fuel Sense Analyst with project context that gets applied to all conversations. And this was one of our biggest feature requests from our beta users. You asked, we answered. Here it is. And here we've configured Sense Analyst to know that our biggest campaign of the year is not Black Friday, but the London Marathon that we sponsor. So Sense Analyst takes this context into account to provide personalized recommendations to optimize your site. And then Sense Analyst begins to tell you a story of what's actually happening, what on the customer journey, the friction that customers are seeing. And then it gives you smart, actionable recommendations powered by best practices from 10 years of our professional services expertise. And Sense works while you sleep. You can schedule it to run daily and get fresh insights delivered fresh to your inbox every morning. And this is what it looks like. Without opening Contentsquare, you get analysis that would have taken hours, delivered in a clean, digestible format with clear next steps. Because you shouldn't have to be a data scientist to find an answer. Now, automating analysis is great, but what if we could take it one step further? What if you had a whole team of AI analysts, not just performing analysis for you, but also curating the results? Well, I'm excited to share that's exactly what we've built, and we call it Newsroom. It's like having your very own team running investigations overnight across a whole wide range of subjects, and then curating the most important insights for you. And we've done something different here. Newsroom gives you the answer first. We're flipping the traditional model of analytics, and then you just click in an insight, and you can immediately drill down into the full analysis and recommendation, and you can ask any follow-up to continue the conversation. And the power of Sense is that it's customizable to the analysis that you need, and it's focused on recommendations and action, not just insight. These are several of the top use cases we've seen in our beta, and customers are understanding behaviors in seconds, and then writing tickets for the next A/B test or content improvement in minutes. And we're not the only ones that think of Sense Analyst as an extra teammate. Our beta customers love the time savings, the speed to insight, and the confidence they get by having Sense Analyst on their team. And I've shown you so many things. I think I need to give you a quick refresher. So here it is. It's an analyst that can perform complex multi-step analysis informed by project context to give you insights tailored to your data and your business. Actionable recommendations based on years of best practices and scheduled analysis delivered right to your inbox. And of course, a proactive newsroom of AI agents that analyze, curate, and summarize while you sleep. And we really want you to try these amazing capabilities. So I'm delighted to tell you, you can try Sense Analyst free now. Go and do it. And there's more. These are some capabilities that we have.
Free for a month, my dear Jane.
What's that?
Free for a month.
Free for a month, yes, yes. Run, run. Don't walk, run. So yeah, here's the other things that are now available. We've got sense summaries and chats across new modules like heat maps, zoning, and more. We have sense mappings so that you can create, validate, and update page groups directly inside Analysis on the fly. No more switching modules. And all of this is available to try free. How long for? A month. Rolling out starting today. And if you'd like a more detailed demo, if you want to talk about prompting, if you want to learn about it, if you want to play with Sense Analyst, try any other Sense Analyst features yourself, or if you have any feedback for us, or you just fancy a chat, come and visit us in the demo zone outside right after this. Me and the team are really looking forward to meeting you and seeing what you think about Sense Analyst. Over to you, John.
Thank you, Jane. All right, so we just look at so many new capabilities, new use cases, and we will keep pushing forward, continuing to improve our platform, bringing new ideas to life, designing it together, and adapting together to this changing world. But I would like to take a moment to look a little further ahead. Because when we talk to customers, one question comes up again and again. What will customer experience look like in the next 2 or 3 years? First, AI will be embedded across the experience itself, not as an add-on, but in every interaction, from discovery to checkout to support. Second, experiences will become agent-led. Intelligent agents won't just analyze the experience, they will help run it. Third, advanced model will continuously interpret what's happening. LLM, machine learning will make sense of complex behaviors, signals, and conversation to understand intent and improve the journey. Think about a large language model like ChatGPT. ChatGPT, it's a probabilistic model that predicts the next word. It's trained on textual data and enables conversation and task. Now, imagine a large experience model that predicts human behavior instead. For brands, it's powerful. It's trained on experience data and can anticipate what a customer will do next, whether they will buy, leave, or need help. It can predict the next move in a journey before it ever happens and delivers the right experience at the right moment. It means you can predict what is likely to happen next. What will be the next move of a user? Which journey will perform? What will be the dollar performance of a slideshow? What revenue a customer will do next month? And if a customer needs a discount to buy. If you can predict when content is underperforming, you don't wait for conversion to drop, you adjust early and compound performance over time. For a specific user, if event A, B, and C happen, there will be a high probability that D and E will happen. Sequence AI is the engine underneath the model. It's AI that look at behavior in motion, the order of action, what happened first, what comes next, and how one interaction leads to another. And that's the difference. Because when you can understand the sequence, you start to see intent forming and friction building before it's too late. By learning from millions of websites and trillions of changes, we will be able to understand how one site change led to a specific impact in another website. Those changes create one of the largest learning loops for experience performance in the world. in the world. Prediction is just the beginning. In the agentic world, experience no longer live in interfaces. They flow through agents, human, AI, and even AI to AI. For your customers, every interaction feels seamless and personal. This is the next era of customer experience. And we are building the tools, the infrastructure, so you can win in this era. All right, let's wrap up. Today, customer journey move across conversation, AI assistant, apps, website, agent, and support channel. What we showed today is how to make sense of that complexity, bringing every signal together into a single 360 view of the experience. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our customer, our prospect, and you, our wonderful audience.